And she said, Gary, I knew he wasn't coming. And I said, well, Stacy, if you knew he wasn't coming, how come you made the appointment? And without missing a beat, she said, because you told me to. Let's go back to fundamentals then. And here's the fundamental on that one.
Yeah.
And I want to raise my hand and say, mea culpa, I've been part of the problem on this. And let me explain what I mean. In 1982, my goodness, 38 years ago, I was the guy that stood up and said, nobody should leave your office without making their next hygiene appointment, And I started teaching that in 1980. I said, they're right in front of you. And back then we didn't have, computers. And so we had to get the book out, the big book, the big appointment book, where the scheduling team member would have to flip the pages, 6 months out, and she'd make you an appointment. And I was the guy that said, nobody leaves your office without making their next appointment. And I taught that from 1982 to 2007. Okay, do the math on that pretty quick. I believe that's 25 years. Right. 1982 to 2007. And then I experienced in my own practice the mistake of that. And how I discovered it was, I have to tell the story because it's imprinted on my mind. My office manager, Stacy, we had a 7 o'clock appointment, and the 7 o'clock appointment was Charlie Ragle. I know I'm violating HIPAA, but Charlie won't be listening to this, so I think it's okay. Charlie's a football coach for Chaparral High School, and he was there at 7 o'clock in hygiene. And I was excited. I happened to be in the office that day, and I was excited that Charlie was coming in because I wanted to talk to him about setting up our coming mouthguard project, that we're going to be doing for the team. And anyway, 7 o'clock rolls around, no Charlie. 7:05 rolls around, no Charlie. 7:10, no Charlie. And I walk up front, and in my most emotionally intelligent manner, I said, Stacy, where's Charlie? And she said, Gary, I knew he wasn't coming. And I said, well, Stacy, if you knew he wasn't coming, how come you made the appointment? And without missing a beat, she said, because you told me to. And I aha, I did, guilty as charged, because I told Stacy, nobody leaves our office without making their next appointment. She said, Gary, Charlie, single guy, football coach, what does he care about? He cares about football. He hasn't responded.
It's like me. Like I have other things I have fun with. I would rather go to the other stuff if I have a choice.
And she said, Gary, I knew he wasn't coming. And right then I said, this is a teachable moment for Gary. Hey, Stacy, let's look at our digital schedule. Let's look later in the week. This was a Monday. Who else isn't coming? And she went right through the list, and she identified about 10 hygiene patients that it was highly likely of not coming. Okay.
And she knew who these people are.
She knew it. Her instincts were amazing. So right then I made a shift. I said, quit reappointing everybody. And what we learned after the fact, that about 90% of the patients in any practice, you can appoint in advance, whether it be 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months. But about 10%, again, that could vary. Your practice, it could be 92% you could reappoint. It could be 85, but it's in that range. It's in that range, in the 90% range. But for those 10%, don't pound a square peg in a round hole. Don't pound a square peg in a round hole.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. The full podcast episode link is in the link below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like our content.